When it comes to pets for children, dogs are a fantastic choice. They can exhibit friendliness, affection, and even help kids develop a sense of responsibility. Therefore, a mother felt assured when she left her 1-year-old baby with their recently adopted Doberman Pinscher. However, upon her return, she was stunned by what she witnessed, leaving her deeply shaken. Residing in the suburbs located just north of Canberra, Catherine and her newborn daughter, Charlotte, led a solitary life, which suited them just fine. Despite being a doting mother, Catherine yearned for some company around the house since it could become tranquil and desolate at times. To address this, she resolved to adopt a dog one day as the only feasible solution. Having grown up with dogs, Catherine had a deep-seated affection for them. She adored their unwavering love and boundless happiness, making them the most affectionate and enjoyable pets one could have. Shortly after Charlotte's first birthday, Catherine visited the rescue center to adopt a dog. The abundance of options tugged at her heartstrings, and she felt saddened that she couldn't rescue them all. Eventually, she chose a stately 4-year-old Doberman Pinscher named Khan, with an imposing appearance. Since she only had space for one pet, she had to make a difficult decision. This dog was large and solidly bold, and while it didn't look like the perfect family pet, Catherine knew better. These dogs often got a bad rap. They had a reputation of being dangerous and violent, and as such, they were typically used as police dogs or guard dogs, but it was unfair to tar them all with the same brush. Police dogs and guard dogs were highly trained to be good at their jobs. Not all Dobermans were like that. Some were friendly and silly and funny, and just by looking at it and the way Khan reacted around her, Catherine could tell he didn't have a violent bone in his body. The staff at the rescue shelter tried to dissuade her from adopting Khan, saying that he might be a little too big and boisterous for a 1-year-old girl. But Catherine was adamant that this was the dog for them. This dog would be a part of their family and he would truly make a difference. Little did she know how true that was. When she finally got Khan back to their house, he settled in and made himself at home quickly. Despite being a large dog, he was gentle and calm, and whenever Catherine let him and Charlotte interact, everything went swimmingly. She didn't understand what the people at the rescue center had been worried about. Clearly, Khan had been marked as a difficult dog just because of his breed, but with a proper love and training he would make as good a family dog as any Labrador or Golden Retriever. It was a typical hot Australian day, and it seemed like Charlotte wanted to go and sit in the garden to play. Catherine took her outside and they sat on the grass, rolling a bowl between them as Khan watched on from the shade. It really was a peaceful scene and one of absolute domestic bliss. This was exactly the kind of thing that Catherine had in mind when she first decided to adopt a dog eventually. Lunchtime rolled around and Charlotte needed feeding. Catherine jumped up and jogged to the kitchen, quickly preparing some food for both of them. Her daughter was just sat on the grass playing with the ball. There were no dangers, everything looked safe, and everything looked secure. She had done this plenty of times before, but she always liked to check around for any potential dangers. Luckily, as always, everything seemed safe enough to leave Charlotte outside for probably less than a minute. Surely nothing could go wrong in the few moments that Catherine wasn't there, right? Unfortunately, that's where she was wrong. As she finished preparing their meals and walked out into the yard, Catherine froze in shock and horror at what she witnessed happening. Khan had jumped up from the shade, ran over to Charlotte, and grabbed the infant's diaper with his teeth. He then pulled her back and threw her several feet across the garden. Charlotte landed with a thud in the middle of the grass and started crying, terrified that Khan was going to attack the defenseless infant even further. Catherine screamed and ran at the dog, dropping the plate of food, but brandishing the butter knife like a weapon. She would kill the dog if it continued to attack her child. A million thoughts were running through Catherine's head as the shock of the situation started to settle in. How had she been so wrong about this Doberman's temperament? Would he have attacked her and killed her if Catherine hadn't intervened? It didn't bear thinking about. One thing was for certain, though. Khan would have to be impounded and put to sleep. There was no way they could have such an evil animal living in their house any longer. Catherine heard Khan yelp as she scooped a tearful Charlotte up and slowly started back towards the house, still brandishing the knife. She didn't take her eyes off of Khan in case he made another move or tried to attack again, but suddenly the dog gave a small whimper and collapsed to the ground, shaking, violent. Catherine was confused, but that's when she noticed something strange further down the garden, something that explained it all. Just beyond where Khan had collapsed was a snake. Its coloring had made it blend in with the dry grass, but it was curved up and looked like it was ready to strike. Suddenly, everything became clear to Catherine. Charlotte must have been walking towards the snake, and Khan had noticed it, grabbing her diaper and throwing her out of the way. He wasn't doing it to be aggressive. He was doing it to save her. Catherine dropped the knife in shame. She was ready to kill the poor dog if she had to, and all he was trying to do was protect her daughter. Then she had another realization. Khan must have been bitten by the snake. That must have been why he yelped when she scooped Charlotte up. The snake in question was a king brown. They were pretty common in Australia, and while their bites were painful and very unpleasant for an adult, they were far more likely to kill a dog or a small child. This was a potentially deadly attack, so the race was on to save the life of Khan. Catherine strapped Charlotte into her car seat and scooped the massive Doberman up, careful not to spook the snake into attacking again. Adrenaline was coursing through Catherine's body, and while she would not have been able to normally handle Khan's weight, she found that it gave her the power to do it with ease. She carried him to the car and they sped off to the vets. Would Khan survive, or would this be the end of the heroic and selfless dog? At this point, no one knew for sure. They arrived at the vets and he immediately gave Khan a shot of anti-venom. Hopefully they had done it in time, but it was a waiting game. He would have to be kept in overnight to be monitored, but there was a very high chance that the poor Doberman would not make it through the night. Catherine was distraught. Khan had saved the life of her daughter, but there was a good chance that she had not made it to the vets in time to save his life. It certainly was a long night full of angst and no sleep. Miraculously, Khan survived the snakebite incident the following morning, defying all odds. His size and weight may have contributed to his resilience. Additionally, it's possible that the snake didn't get a chance to deliver a full venom dose before Khan wrestled it away. If Khan were a cat, he would have exhausted 8 of his 9 lives. The fortunate turn of events brought immense joy to Catherine, and she tearfully expressed her gratitude to her loyal and courageous dog. She believed she could never repay him for saving Charlotte's life. As a result, she promised to love and cherish him, ensuring he had the best possible life as he deserved. Now it's your turn. Would you feel at ease leaving your 1-year-old alone with a dog? Additionally, how would you have responded if your dog demonstrated such heroism and selflessness? We always appreciate hearing your thoughts and feedback, so please share them in the comments section below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications about our latest uploads. Thank you for your support.